Imagine a secret so profound, so ethically dark, that its very existence threatens the core principles of a nation. Imagine a program designed not for war, but for the systematic dismantling of the human mind, conducted in the shadows, far from public view. Today, Dark Truths Files uncovers the chilling alleged true story of Project Shadowplay, a clandestine CIA program so extreme it redefines enhanced interrogation. This isn't just a conspiracy theory. It's a terrifying tutorial on the invisible war for information and the CIA's secret torture program they tried to hide. What happens when national security justifies the unthinkable? Introduction. The post-9/11's imperative. When fear justified everything in the aftermath of the September 11th attacks, the United States plunged into a state of heightened national security. The imperative to prevent future attacks became paramount, leading to an era where the lines between acceptable and unethical interrogation methods blurred, paving the way for programs like Project Shadowplay. The climate of fear. The ticking time bomb scenario. The belief that crucial intelligence could prevent another devastating attack led to extreme pressure on intelligence agencies. The ticking time bomb scenario, where extracting information quickly, by any means, was seen as necessary, became a powerful justification. The legal loopholes. Secret legal opinions and presidential directives were allegedly drafted, reinterpreting laws against torture and allowing for enhanced interrogation techniques that skirted international conventions. This created a gray area for clandestine operations. The birth of Shadowplay, deep within the CIA's most secretive divisions. A new initiative began in 2002, Project Shadowplay. Its core mission was to develop and implement advanced, non-physical interrogation methods that could break a subject's will, extract information, and, if necessary, erase or re-scramble memories, all while leaving minimal physical trace. It was the ultimate psychological warfare. We will now walk you through the chilling tutorial of how Project Shadowplay allegedly operated, its disturbing techniques, and the immense lengths to which the CIA supposedly went to hide its existence. Lesson 1. The design of deception. Crafting the Invisible Chains Project, Shadowplay, wasn't about waterboarding or beatings. It was about scientific precision and psychological manipulation. This was the tutorial on breaking a mind without leaving a bruise. Step 1. The black site. Environment. Unmarked facilities. Project Shadowplay operated in a network of unmarked black sites, secret detention facilities located in remote, desolate areas within the USA and abroad. These sites were designed for total isolation and control. Sensory manipulation chambers. The core of the technique involved custom-built chambers. These weren't standard cells. They were designed for absolute sensory deprivation, total darkness, complete soundproofing, and temperature control to disorient subjects, causing hallucinations and loss of time perception. Sensory overload. Conversely, sudden, extreme bursts of bright, flashing lights, deafening white noise, or constant, painful high-frequency sounds were used to overwhelm and disorient. Controlled environment. Air quality, humidity, and even specific scents could be manipulated to create a constant, unsettling atmosphere. Step 2. The psychological toolkit. Sleep deprivation. Prolonged sleep deprivation was a foundational technique. Subjects would be kept awake for days, even weeks, often strapped into stress positions. This quickly erodes cognitive function, making subjects suggestible and vulnerable. Tutorial point. Exhaustion makes the mind unable to resist suggestion or maintain coherence. Forced monotony. Isolation. Subjects were kept in absolute isolation, often in sensory deprivation chambers for extended periods. This shattered their sense of self, leading to confusion about who they were or where they were. Induce stress positions. Subjects were forced into uncomfortable positions. For long durations, this inflicted pain but was designed to avoid permanent physical damage, making it legally ambiguous. whisper rooms, and auditory hallucinations. Some chambers were designed to play specific, unsettling sounds or distorted voices at varying volumes, inducing auditory hallucinations and making subjects question their sanity. The sound of their own name or whispers of their family's voices often played on repeat. Imagine being systematically stripped of sleep, bombarded by disorienting sensations, and manipulated into doubting your own memories. Project Shadowplay wasn't about breaking bones. It was about breaking the very concept of reality, twisting the mind into a state of utter vulnerability. How does one resist a torture that leaves no physical marks, but slowly, meticulously annihilates your sanity, turning your own thoughts into your greatest enemy? The darkness of these black sites concealed not just victims, but the very depths of psychological cruelty. Lesson 2. The Interrogation Protocol. The art of extraction and eradication once a subject was sufficiently conditioned. The next phase of Project Shadowplay involved extracting information and chillingly manipulating their memories or sense of truth. This was a tutorial in breaking resistance and controlling narratives. Step 1. The softening process. The clean slate phase. Subjects would be kept in a prolonged state of disorientation, often with minimal sensory input until they were highly suggestible. The goal was to create a clean slate where old truths could be replaced or new ones implanted. Pharmacological augmentation. While highly classified, it is alleged that certain truth serums or psychotropic drugs were sometimes used to further lower psychological defenses, making subjects more compliant or prone to reveal information. The good cop, bad cop extreme. Interrogators would rotate roles, appearing as saviors one moment and terrifying figures the next, exacerbating the subject's confusion and dependency. The isolation ensured there was no external validation. Step 2. Information extraction, the repetitive loop. Interrogators would ask the same questions, sometimes for days, allowing no deviation. This monotony, combined with sleep deprivation, often led subjects to reveal information just to end the cycle. Induced false confessions, through extreme psychological pressure and suggestibility. Some subjects could be manipulated into confessing to things they hadn't done, or providing information that was fabricated, but became real in their disoriented state. Targeted memory recall. The techniques were precise. Interrogators would use triggers from the subject's past to evoke emotional responses, then use those moments of vulnerability to extract intelligence. Imagine confessing to something you didn't do, or being convinced of a false memory because your mind has been systematically broken by weeks of torment. Project Shadowplay's true horror lay not just in extracting information, but in its alleged ability to manipulate the very fabric of truth within a human mind. How do you fight for your innocence when your own memories are no longer reliable, and the line between reality and engineered delusion blurs, leaving you a shell of your former self? Lesson 3. The cover-up, burying the unthinkable truth. Project Shadowplay's existence was deemed so sensitive, so morally ambiguous, that its operators developed elaborate methods to ensure its absolute secrecy and plausible deniability. This was a tutorial in institutional concealment and the art of vanishing evidence. Step 1. The Ghost Protocol's no official records. Subjects were never formally processed or entered into standard detention systems. Their capture, detention, and release existed only within Shadowplay's highly classified, compartmentalized networks. Black Ops logistics. Transportation was covert, often using unmarked planes flying at odd hours to obscure origins. Personnel used burner phones and temporary identities. The entire chain of command was designed to be untraceable back to central agencies. Clean slate post-release. Survivors, if released, were often dropped in remote locations, with no ID, no money, and no memory of where they'd been, or with fabricated cover stories implanted. Their mental instability would naturally lead to their claims being dismissed as delusions. Step 2. Internal control and silence compartmentalization. Project Shadowplay was broken into tiny, independent cells. No single person knew the full scope. An analyst might only see data, an operative only transport subjects. This minimized the risk of a single leak. Psychological vetting. Personnel involved in Shadowplay underwent extreme psychological vetting and indoctrination. They were trained to believe their work was absolutely essential for national security, overriding any moral qualms. The suicide protocol. For any operative showing signs of dissent or attempting to leak information. Extreme measures were allegedly in place, often disguised as accidents or suicides, creating a terrifying deterrent. Imagine being part of a program so secret, so dark, that merely knowing about it could cost you your life, or worse, your sanity. The CIA's efforts to hide Project Shadowplay weren't just about covering tracks. They were about creating an absolute barrier of silence, ensuring that the unthinkable remained buried forever. But how long can such a profound secret remain hidden, especially when its victims, though broken, still carry the unseen scars of its existence? The truth, no matter how deep it's buried, often finds a way to echo. Lesson 4. The cracks in the facade. When shadows begin to stir, no secret, no matter how meticulously guarded, can withstand the relentless pressure of time and conscience. After years of hidden operations, tiny cracks began to appear in Project Shadowplay's impenetrable facade. Step 1. The disillusioned insider. The ghost operative. Our next key figure is Alex Phoenix Vance, a mid-level analyst within Project Shadowplay, whose job was to analyze the long-term psychological data of conditioned subjects. He saw patterns of irreversible damage, not just information extraction, moral crisis. Alex, a patriot who believed in serving his country, began to question the ethics. The dehumanization, the induced mental breakdowns. It was too much. His conscience, slowly gnawing at him for years, reached a breaking point. Covert data collection. Risking everything, Alex began to meticulously, secretly, collect fragments of evidence, redacted reports, cryptic emails, encrypted psychological assessments. He created a small, untraceable digital dead drop of information. Step 2. The whispers to the press, the anonymous drop. Alex, operating under extreme secrecy, managed to anonymously tip off a seasoned investigative journalist from Washington, D.C., Sarah Chen, known for her tenacity and courage in exposing government secrets. The puzzle pieces. Sarah received cryptic messages, then small, highly encrypted data files. It was like a complex puzzle. She dedicated months working with a team of data forensic experts, trying to piece together the fragments without exposing her source. It's a breakthrough. After agonizing months, they managed to decrypt enough data to reveal the existence of Project Shadowplay, its methods, and its horrific impact on unsuspecting Americans. It was undeniable proof. The truth about Project Shadowplay exploded onto the national stage. The headlines screamed. The public was outraged. The program that had been meticulously hidden for years, its existence denied by the highest levels of government, was now laid bare. But could a nation truly reckon with such a profound betrayal of its own citizens? And what would be the enduring cost of uncovering a program that blurred the line between national security and an Orwellian nightmare? The real fight for truth had just begun. Lesson 5. The aftermath, the scars of a digital betrayal. Uncovering Project Shadowplay was a victory for truth. But the battle for justice and the healing of a nation's trust would be long and arduous. The program left behind a chilling legacy of fear, paranoia, and a profound question about power and ethics. Step 1. Reckoning and exposure, public outcry, and denials. The initial government response was furious denial. But the sheer volume and credibility of the leaked documents, corroborated by the increasing number of missing individuals whose mental health breakdowns now made sense, made denial impossible. Congressional hearings, forced by public pressure, Congress launched a full-scale investigation. Whistleblowers, inspired by Orion's courage, came forward, detailing the inner workings of Shadowplay. Legal and ethical debates. The scandal ignited fierce national debates about government overreach, surveillance powers, and the ethical boundaries of intelligence gathering. Comparisons were drawn to historical abuses like McCultra, but Shadowplay was seen as far more advanced and insidious. Step 2. The enduring scars. Victims' trauma. The survivors of Project Shadowplay faced lifelong battles with PTSD, chronic paranoia, and a profound inability to trust. Their lives were irreversibly altered. Societal distrust. The scandal left a deep scar on American society. Public trust in government agencies and even telecom companies plummeted. A pervasive sense of being watched settled over the nation, fundamentally altering how people viewed their online and offline lives. The shadow of doubt, even after the program was officially dismantled and reforms were put in place. The chilling question lingered. Was Project Shadowplay truly gone? Or had it merely gone deeper underground, its methods perfected and its cover more absolute? Project Shadowplay is a chilling tutorial on the perilous intersection of technology, unchecked power, and ethical compromise. It revealed how the pursuit of security, however well-intentioned, can systematically torture innocent citizens by dismantling their minds and lives. The program was designed to be utterly secret, its victims silenced, its methods hidden. But the truth, like a shadow, eventually emerges. And as we reckon with the CIA's secret torture program they tried to hide, we are forced to ask, are we truly free? Or are we still living in the chilling echo of a secret war for the mind, where the most painful executions are not always carried out in public, but in the quiet, terrifying silence of unseen surveillance? For more chilling insights into government secrets, psychological horrors, and the dark truths shaping our world, make sure to subscribe to Dark Truth Files.